And usually when we just want to live for ourselves. And there's times we just want, I just want to have my time. I just want to do my thing. I want to have my fun. Well, I was up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, speaking at a women's banquet. I don't know how I get to these women's things. I guess I'm just Mr. T, Mr. Testosterone, and in a room full of estrogen, and I feel it tonight. But anyhow, no amen that time. Whoa. They're probably having a hot flash over there. And then the next day I was going to preach at a church, and then I didn't have anything for that Sunday night. Well, that just happened to be on that Sunday, the Super Bowl, when the Titans were going to be playing the Rams. My manager up in Nashville calls and says, Swanee, I got tickets. I don't have tickets, but we're going to the Super Bowl. Michelle and I are going. I said, I'm going. You got tickets? No, but we're going to get tickets from those ministers that sell those tickets outside the arena that help their families if they sell them. You know what I'm saying? I said, well, isn't that a neat ministry? I said, get me one. I call home to Laurie in Monroe. I said, baby love, Big Swan, your man. And she said, honey, what's the big deal? I said, what are you doing? I'm working, honey. Some of us work. I'm not working on the road. I said, baby love, I'm going to the Super Bowl. Big Swan. Never been. I'm going tomorrow. Let me meet Ron and Michelle down there. Get me a ticket. I ain't got anything Sunday afternoon. I'm going to drive in my rent car from Chattanooga. I'm going down to Atlanta. I'm going to Super Bowl, baby. See the Titans. Put it on the Rams. And then Laurie says these words. She says, well, Dusty would love to go with you. Honey, well, I'm just saying, you're gone all the time. And he daddy and loves to be with his daddy and loves to do big events with his daddy. I went, but what? I'm going to have to fly him from Monroe to Atlanta on a Sunday. That's not a Saturday night stay over. Just forget about it. Goodbye. I'm got to go. Bye. So the next day, Dusty flew into Atlanta. Dusty gets there, and Laurie gives him a cell phone, and he lands, he gets in the terminal, and he's talking to Laurie, Mom, what do I do now? You go down the hall, and then you go down and get on the escalators, go all the way down, get on that train, and that train will take you all the way. You're breaking up, Mom. I'll talk to you later. He is 14 at the time. Dusty gets down the escalator, goes all the way down, gets on the train. Train dead ends if you've ever been to Atlanta. Dead ends in the baggage claim. He gets out, goes up the escalator, and he's walking into the baggage area. He has no luggage, but sometimes Dusty can pull a Forrest Gump and say, I think I'll go outside and get some fresh air. Just went outside. But as he walked outside on that curb in Atlanta, Ron and Michelle pulled up at the same time. Ron had started hyper. Dusty went. They connected. God's in the Super Bowl. They took him out to eat. I'm driving down. I stop at about 4 ATM machines because every time they said, we need a little more money. Finally got down there and we got the tickets. Dusty and I were so thrilled. And he's affectionate and I'm affectionate. I hug him and say, I love you, son. I love you, Dad. I love you. Come on. We go through and we give him our tickets. We're here at the Super Bowl. I know you are. Here's your ticket. We walk through. And I stopped and I said, Dusty, we're going to do what your mama does. He said, what's that, Daddy? I said, we're spending everything we got. We buying it. We bought hats and cups and blankets and T-shirts and pens. We bought it all. Then we got this stuff and we're going up the steps. We're going to go to our seat as we're climbing. You with me, Dusty? I'm with you, Dad. All right, come on, let's go. Go Titans, baby. I see some Rams. I go, gonna get you in this thicket, buddy. God's gonna get you in your thicket. Ram gonna get caught in the thicket, baby. God will provide. I'm talking trash. I'm more like a deacon than I've ever been in my life. We finally get to our seats, 3 rows from the top of the Georgia Dome in the end zone. And I'm going, good, I spent this much. And Dusty's up there going, this is great. Now his older brother, Chad, he'd be the type going, why can't we be on the 50-yard line? But Dusty, it's great, Dad. That's why I bought these tickets, son. So I bought these tickets. I love you, Dad. I love you. I love you, Dad. While we're up there watching the ball game, all of a sudden Dusty came out and said, Daddy, we can see what the blimp sees, Dad. We can see what the blimp sees. You got that right. Daddy, we can see it all. First half, if you remember, was not good for the Titans. But the second half, we came back. We stood the entire game. And the game ended on the 1-yard line. And we came up 1 yard short on the last play of the game. And Dusty and I stood there and we cried. We cried. I held him and he held me and we cried. And I tried to be spiritual. I said, son, old Warner, the quarterback on the Rams, is a Christian. He'll use this for the Lord. And Dusty, with some wisdom I knew not of at the time, at 14, said, well, we would have too. Good point. We just stood there and hugged. And then we started walking to the car, which was 5 miles away. And as we're walking to the car, I'm thinking, Lord, old Dusty here, is he going to make it, Lord? He going to be all right? You ever think that about your kids? I think about both of mine that way. Rednecks in Washita Parish. Got your truck, got your Jeep jacked up, winch in the front, another way of spelling testosterone. Big old head, extra lights in case we ever have a blackout in Louisiana. And we're walking to the car, and I said, Lord, is he going to make it? My boys, Dusty, going to make it? Chad going to make it? Oh. And God spoke to my heart, and he said, oh, Swan, he going to make it. How's he going to make it, Lord? And he said, Dusty can see what the blimp sees. Dusty can see the big picture. Dusty knows about living and living well. Sometimes it's the little things that so easily beset us. Sometimes it's the little things which we miss. The difference between living and living well.